The best way to improve your life is to take 100% responsibility for your actions and their outcomes. Only when you take 100% responsibility for your life will you understand where you are making mistakes and where you need to make improvements. These lines are from the best-selling book Extreme Ownership, written by retired Navy SEAL officer Jocko Willink and his close friend and colleague leib babin. So in today's video, we're going to talk about topics related to that book. First, let's talk about the authors of the book. About the authors. Both Jocko Willink and leib babin have served as US Navy SEALs, and during the Iraq wars, they led Navy SEAL teams there and helped Iraq fight against terrorists. In their book, they share many leadership and life lessons drawn from their war and Navy SEAL experiences, which can be extremely useful to you at any point in your life. So first, I will tell you the 4 biggest lessons from the book, then give you a short summary of the book, and finally, I'll tell you where you can purchase this book at the lowest price and get its full value. So let's start by discussing the 4 lessons from the book. Lesson 1. Take extreme ownership. The very first and most important lesson of this book is to take extreme ownership. That is, to take responsibility for your every action to the highest degree. Take complete responsibility for your entire life. Jocko Willink explains this point with a story from when he was in Ramadi city, Iraq, which was the main base of the terrorists. In Ramadi, there were terrorist attacks every single day. Jocko Willink was the commander of all the forces there. So one day, some US Army soldiers from his own team, US Navy SEALs, Marine soldiers, and some Iraqi soldiers with them were passing through for a military operation. They had gone out for a military operation. They had received information that terrorists were hiding in a building somewhere far away. So when they reached there, they split into 2 teams. But in the end, due to some mistakes, there was a problem in communication between them. And by mistake, an Iraqi soldier from their own team was killed by one of their own soldiers. Later, it was discovered that instead of attacking the terrorists, both their teams were actually attacking each other, and in that crossfire, an Iraqi soldier from their own team was killed, and many soldiers were seriously injured. When Jocko Willink found out about this, he went there, and he says that it was the most difficult moment of his life. After this, when he returned to his base, he received an email from his commanding officer, which said that all operations should be stopped. How did this incident happen? Prepare an explanation for it. After receiving this message, Jocko Willink started thinking that now someone would have to take responsibility for this entire incident. After that, he noted down every small mistake and also recorded who made each mistake. After this, he kept thinking for a long time about who was responsible for this entire mistake, but he couldn't find an answer. He couldn't bring himself to blame any member of his team. After a short while, Jocko's seniors arrived to debrief him, that is, to hear his explanation about the incident. And just 10 minutes before giving his own debrief, Jocko realized that there was only one person responsible for the entire incident. So he went to the room where his senior officers were seated. His team members were also sitting with them. Everyone was injured. Everyone had bandages on. So Jocko asked just one question to his team there. Who is responsible for all of this? One of the soldiers stood up and said, "This is all my fault because it was my job to keep everyone updated about each soldier's location. But I wasn't able to do that." Jocko Willink said, "No, this is not your fault." Then another soldier stood up and said, "This is my fault. I was with the Iraqi soldier. I should have looked after him." So Jocko said, "No, this isn't your fault either." Then another soldier stood up and said, "Boss, this is entirely my fault. I wasn't able to properly identify my target and I ended up firing at our own Iraqi soldier." After this, Jocko Willink said, "No, this isn't your fault either, and none of the soldiers sitting here are at fault. If there is anyone to blame, it's only one person, and that is me. I was the commander of this team. So if any problem occurs in such a situation, all the responsibility is mine. I should have been aware of what our teams were doing. I should have kept an eye on things. That's why whatever happened, I am the one responsible for it." Jocko Willink's commander, the investigating officer, and the master-in-chief all listened to him. And surprisingly, instead of firing Jocko Willink, they ended up having even more faith in him. Because when you have the opportunity to put all the blame for a situation on someone else, but you still don't blame anyone and take full responsibility yourself, this compels people to trust you. Jocko's commanding officers thought that Jocko Willink would blame his team for this incident and come up with all sorts of excuses. But Jocko Willink took all the blame upon himself, and instead of making excuses, he talked about certain things that would help ensure such an incident never happened again. Jocko Willink explains that taking responsibility and accepting the blame for a mistake is not easy. Doing so hurts a person's ego. But it's up to you to decide whether you want to be controlled by your ego or control your ego yourself. When Jocko Willink took all the responsibility upon his own shoulders, his team began to trust him even more, and every soldier in his team started taking 100% responsibility for their own work. That is, practicing extreme ownership. So if you want to become a good leader, take extreme ownership. And if you want to do better in life, you should also take extreme ownership. Because blaming others is easy, but accepting your own mistakes and then working to improve them is difficult. But whoever manages to do this, no one can stop them from achieving success in life. Lesson 2. Effective leaders handle pressure very well and they stay relaxed. Once, Le Babin and his team had gone deep inside the enemy's bunker. At that moment, one of their fellow soldiers fell into a 20-foot deep pit. It was actually a trap set by the enemies. Now, the rest of their team was also in danger from the enemies. On top of that, there was a bomb placed at the exit point of the bunker. This situation was extremely stressful for Le Babin. He couldn't figure out what to do first. Then he remembered something he had learned during Navy SEAL training, which was prioritize and execute. That is, first prioritize your tasks, figure out which one is most important and which is less so, and then tackle them one by one. Le Babin did exactly that. First, he brought his team to a safe location. After that, he rescued the soldier who had gotten trapped. Then they carefully defused the bomb and made their way out, successfully completing the mission. That's why Le Babin says that a good leader is one who motivates and guides the team during tough times. Because every team is good. They just need the right leader. As both authors write in the book, there are no bad teams, only bad leaders. In other words, there are no bad teams, only bad leaders. And this is practical as well. Just think about it yourself. If a team of lions is led by a wolf and a team of wolves is led by a lion, then under the powerful leadership of the lion, those wolves might even defeat the lions. This is the strength of a good leader. Lesson 3. Leaders never fear. They keep their emotions in check. Once, a terrorist group called Al-Qaeda kidnapped an Iraqi, and babin and his team were appointed to the mission to rescue him from the terrorists. Just as babin was about to leave for the mission, one of his investigating officers informed him that the place where the Iraqi man was being held was filled with bunkers equipped with numerous machine guns and explosive bombs. But babin was not afraid of any of this. Despite the immense danger involved in the mission, he arrived there on time, destroyed the enemy bunkers, and then rescued the Iraqi person and brought him back. Leaders are always ready to take risks, whether they are in the military, in business, or in any other part of life. They are always prepared for any problem. That's why they don't feel afraid. And when a leader works fearlessly, only then can his team do the same. That's why a leader should always be fearless, because the team gets motivated by looking at their leader. If the leader has strength, then the team will have it too, and the team will automatically be filled with enthusiasm. Lesson 4. Leaders don't give orders. They align their vision with the vision of their team. Jocko Willink says that good leaders don't give orders. Instead, they inspire their entire team to achieve a common goal. These days, most companies don't last very long because their employees don't do their work properly. They slack off. And they do this because they feel like they're working for someone else, for someone else's goals, which doesn't give them any inspiration to work. That's why nowadays, most companies ask during employee interviews, "Why do you want to join our company specifically?" In other words, why do you want to work at our company in particular? So that they can find out whether this person is working with us just for more money or if they are genuinely interested in the work our company does. Elon Musk's companies are so successful today, and a big reason behind that is their employees. The people working at Tesla and SpaceX don't treat their work like just a job. They work with a vision, with a strong why that Elon Musk has given them. What is that strong why? To get humans to Mars by 2025 so that human civilization can be saved from extinction. To make electric cars affordable and sustainable so that pollution in the world can be reduced. Jocko Willink explains that if you just give orders to your team, it will feel to them as if they're doing someone else's work. Whereas if you give them all a goal, a vision that allows them to add value to their own lives and the lives of others, then your team will give their 100% performance and you will become a great leader. A very short summary of the book. This book revolves entirely around leadership. It specifically states that the most important principle of leadership is trust. Because if your team trusts you, they will work with you with full dedication, and only then can you be successful as a leader. Who should read the book and why? According to me, this book is one of the best leadership books out there. Both authors share many stories from their Navy SEAL lives, which contain a lot of valuable leadership lessons. because both Jocko Willink and Leif Babin have witnessed war and death up close. That's why anyone who wants to gain knowledge about leadership should definitely read this book. If you want to purchase this book, there is a link in the description below. You can easily purchase it from there. So this was the summary of the book Extreme Ownership and its leadership lessons. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a like. It inspires our team to keep working hard. I will continue to bring videos like this on book summaries, life lessons, and great leaders. Thanks for your valuable time.